From Mesmerized Online, this is the 2024 season preview of the Mets AA team, the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. And before we get into this video, I need you to hit that subscribe button so you know what's going on with the Mets farm system, and in particular what's going on with the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. These used to be called the Binghamton Mets. And they've been an affiliate with the Mets since the mid-90s? 92, 93? Long time now. 2023 was somewhat of a magical season for the Binghamton Rumble Ponies, who increased their win total by 21 from the year prior and made it to the Eastern League Champion Series. They didn't win it all, but it was certainly a season to be proud of. Manager Reed Brignac is back for his third season at the helm, and he has plenty of exciting players to work with in 2024. Let's preview the 24 Rumble Ponies. We've got a whole bunch of different players in the top 30 that the Mets have here. We'll just go through the players, or just a list of players, I guess. Or we'll just skip a little bit. The pitching staff at Binghamton is filled with exciting young arms. Among the stars are Tyler Stewart and Blade Tidwell, two of the Mets' best pitching prospects. Stewart is currently ranked by MMO as the number 21 prospect in the system, while Tidwell is higher on the list at number 12. Both pitchers had great success between Binghamton and Brooklyn a year ago, and Stewart was especially impressive. Some of the other pitchers on the roster with starting experience are Cameron Forster, Troy Miller, Luis Moreno, Junior Santos, and Joanda Suarez. In 23, each of these pitchers started more than half the games they appeared in, but each of them, minus Miller, who only made one appearance all year, appeared in relief at least a couple of times. They all had shaky seasons, though Suarez threw 18 innings without allowing a run and tossed a 7-inning no-hitter after being called up from Brooklyn. The rotation has the potential to be really good, but the bottom half of it will need to step up. Binghamton's bullpen will be headlined by Paul Gervasi, who is the number 30th ranked Mets prospect according to this website. He had a fantastic year in 23 between Brooklyn and Binghamton, where he combined for a 2.05 ERA and 57 innings pitched. Other names to keep an eye on are Daniel Suarez, who had a 2.37 ERA and 57 innings between Brooklyn and Binghamton, Trey McLaughlin, who had a 2.79 ERA and 51 2/3 innings between Brooklyn and Binghamton, and Wilkin Ramos, who had a 2.50 ERA and 57 2/3 innings between Brooklyn and Binghamton. Rounding out the bullpen are Nolan Claney, who was in the Arizona Fall League, Carlos Guzman, Hunter Parsons, and Andre Scrub. Here's the catchers. 2024 is a huge year for Kevin Parada. The 22 first-round pick of the Mets is their number 8 prospect in the system, but he hasn't completely lived up to expectations. It's only one full season that he's played. Offensively, he had a pretty solid year in Brooklyn last year with 787 OPS, but he finished on a down note with 639 OPS in 14 games in Binghamton. He also played in the Arizona Fall League following last season, where he struggled more to the tune of a 611 OPS. To make matters worse, Parada has really struggled behind the plate early in his career. In 23, he caught just 18% of runners who attempted to steal a base. For context, the Major League average for caught stealing percentage tends to hover right around 30%. Parada was well below that mark in 23, prompting questions about his future at the position. He'll need to demonstrate improvement both offensively and defensively if he wants to be considered part of the Mets' future. Backing up Parada will be Hayden Sanger, who's poor offensively, but he did nab 31% of runs attempting to steal a base last season. The strong defender will spell Parada occasionally behind the plate, and he was given a major award by the Mets. He was given basically the Gold Glove, the equivalent of the Gold Glove in the Mets minor league system. He's considered the Mets' best defensive catcher and probably the best defensive player. Headlining this group of infielders is none other than Jeff Williams, our number 1 prospect in the Mets system. And pretty much across the board, he's the Mets' best prospect. He's ranked at the top by a number of publications, including MLB Pipeline, Baseball America, which also ranks him as the number 43 prospect in all of baseball. Williams' calling cards are his eye and his speed, as he walked over 100 times and stole 45 bases last year. He was phenomenal in low A and high A and was called up to Binghamton late in the season, but he struggled in just 6 games played. He's the undisputed best player on the team, and he's repeatedly said he wants to make the major leagues this year. Jeremiah Jackson is another notable name of the roster. The 26th ranked Mets prospect was acquired at the trade deadline from the Angels for Dominic Leone, and he had a solid half season with Binghamton in 2023. He recorded .802 OPS with the club and hit 7 homers in 37 games. He also played several positions, including second, third, short, and both corner outfield positions. Rounding out the infield are Rowdy Jordan, Jose Peroza, J.T. Schwartz, and Wyatt Young. Schwartz had the best 2023 season among the group, recording .302 batting average and .819 OPS in Binghamton. He only hit 4 home runs in 66 games, a pretty atypical lack of power for a first baseman, but his hit to more than makes up for it. Jordan and Peroza had average season with Binghamton in 23, while Young had a brutal go-for of it. The core infield of Williams, Jackson, Schwartz, Jordan, and Peroza offers a lot of defensive versatility and should be collectively great offensively as well. Williams, Jackson, Schwartz, and Jordan also saw time in the outfield last year. And finally, here are the outfielders. Alex Ramirez, the 20th ranked prospect, is the name most fans will recognize. One of the organization's top prospects not too long ago. He fell off a cliff with an abysmal 2023 season in Hyatt, Brooklyn. At 120 games of 520 plate appearances, he recorded just 7 home runs, 53 RBIs, and 627 OPS. He's still just 21, so there's hope that he can turn it around, but he'll have to be much more improved from a season ago. This will be his first action above high A ball, so he needs to show that he belongs. Mets did decide to add him to the 40-man roster during the offseason to protect him from the Rule 5 draft. The most surprising thing, just reading this, that he is not starting here in Brooklyn, because he's sort of been spinning his wheels there, and the fact that the Mets feel confident enough to put him in Binghamton, they're challenging him. This new front office is challenging him. Matt Ruddick is another notable name in the outfield, and he's the 29th ranked prospect in the mesmerized list in the Mets system. Ruddick can play all 3 outfield spots, but was mostly a left fielder in 2023. He put together a really strong season, recording 9 homers and 31 RBIs with .862 OPS in 61 games in Binghamton. He has a fantastic eye. He walked more than he struck out and had a .414 on base percentage. In his 3-year minor league career, he has 10 fewer walks and strikeouts and a .383 on base percentage. Brandon McIlwain, Joe Sawazi, and Ryland Thomas round out the outfielders. Thomas had the best 2023, recorded a slash line of .328 across 91 games and 3 minor league levels. I would mention about Thomas, he's now on the Mets' top 30 list, according to MLB Pipeline. McIlwain and Swazi both spent some time in AAA last season, in addition to being in Binghamton. Swazi had a couple of key hits for the Mets during big league camp this year. Their conclusion: there are some studs on this roster with Jet Williams, Kevin Parada, Tyler Stewart, and Blade Tidwell. The team graduated many of its main contributors from last year, such as Drew Gilbert, Dominic Hamill, and Christian Scott. There's no reason to believe this team can't put together another successful season. The rotation is headed by 2 really good pitchers, but is otherwise one of the weaker groups on the team. If Joanna Suarez can continue his phenomenal run from the end of last season, he would form a good trio with Stewart and Tidwell at the top. That's the one thing, folks, about pitchers. A pitcher can come out of nowhere and become a prospect, or even go from a prospect to a star. The best example, obviously, is Jacob deGrom, because going to the Mets minor league system, deGrom was considered a guy that was going to be a reliever, a middle reliever at best. Gets to the majors, and he becomes this big pitcher, rookie of the year, all-star, Cy Young Award, and legend here. So you never know. It's the one position on the field a guy can come out of nowhere. Maybe Suarez is that guy. You could argue that the bullpen is the strongest group on the team. It's filled with guys who flat out dominated last year, and Paul Gervais will again lead that charge. Even if the bottom of the rotation struggles, the bullpen should be able to bail them out. You see, there's no major regression from multiple relievers. The infield contains the best prospect in the Mets system and contains another top 30 in Jeremiah Jackson. With Williams, Jackson, Schwartz, that's 3 good bats just in the infield alone. It would be a surprise if Williams stays the entire year in Binghamton, but as long as he's there, this group will be just fine. Reddick will lead the outfield and should continue to be an on-base machine. Ryan Thomas will need to maintain his performance from last year, while the rest of the group needs to improve. Now, Ryan Thomas is an interesting player. He can hit. He gets on base. He's considered a very good defensive outfielder. He doesn't have any power. Probably has a chance to be a major leaguer. Maybe a 4th or 5th outfielder. So that's a name to keep an eye on. There's so much potential, especially with Ramirez, that another year of underperformance would be a massive disappointment. And with times, maybe this year. We'll never know. The overall outlook for this team is positive. This roster includes a bunch of really good players who will do what they do best and win a lot of ball games that way. Will the Rumble Ponies had the same success they had last year? Maybe not. But don't be surprised that they make another run. Who knows? Minor league teams that it's very difficult to rate the success from year to year of minor league teams, because obviously one year you'll have a boatload of prospects and then the next year they're on to the next team or they're in the major leagues. So you never know if your team's going to be good. But that's what's great about minor league baseball. Minor league baseball is the best. In a lot of ways, it's so great. It's so much better than Major League Baseball in a lot of ways. It's more intimate. I've never been to a minor league game. I should probably go to one. Well, I should probably think about going to a Ducks game at some point. Long Island Ducks, I should think about doing that. Well, you let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Prospect Hut. We have more stuff on the Rumble Ponies, on the Syracuse team, on the St. Lucie Mets, the Brooklyn Cyclones, and of course, the New York Mets. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.